So the cows just finished eating this roll of hay right here. You can see there's not much left, and they leave a really nice manure trail. So I just put out another bale. We'll have them eat on this for about another week and a half. I am going to move the hot wire down a little bit because they have been starting to eat some of that clover that's coming up, and they're eating some of that dormant Bermuda. Both of my cows are about to calf. Loretta here, this will be her second calf. And this is her bull calf. We turned him into a steer, so he'll be ready for the slaughter probably in September. But he's a good looking steer. And then Dolly off into the distance. She's pregnant for the first time, so we'll see how she calves this year. But like I said, we got this bale of hay rolled out, and in just a minute I'm gonna move this hot wire. I've still got about an acre here that I'm gonna continue to roll out hay. I'm waiting for the clover that I planted last fall to come up and get a little thicker. We'll show that later in the video. But they've done a good job of fertilizing this area, and we'll add a lot of nutrients and carbon to this about half acre right here. About 2 weeks ago, I got out the chain harrow and went ahead and drug this whole acreage right here. It looked like the other paddock that we just got out of just had a bunch of clumps of manure. So we spread all that extra hay and manure out, and it did a pretty good job of getting good coverage with the manure. I prefer doing this than putting the cows in a winter pasture and then gathering all that manure and then putting it in a spreader and spread it out. I just continue to rotationally graze throughout the winter. Then it saves me the hassle of coming back later and laying down manure. I just kind of let them do it all winter long. They tend not to eat the dormant grass anyway. They actually prefer the hay. So a lot of times people don't like to rotationally graze through the winter because you'll overgraze the pasture, but that hasn't been my experience at all. I prefer just continue to rotate them through the acreage. Over the past 2 years of rotationally grazing, I've kind of changed the way that I put up paddocks. Instead of taking one down and using the same hot wire, I'll go ahead and take a second spool of hot wire and go ahead and get the second perimeter done while the cows are still in the original paddock that I had. This dramatically reduces the chance of them escaping and then me having to go hunt them down and put them back in the area that I really want them to be. So right here I'm putting up the second paddock, and it kind of overlaps the first paddock. And once I get that secured, I'll go ahead and remove the hot wire of the original paddock. It does require a little bit more materials. You have to have a second reel and a few more step-in posts, but it's definitely worth it. And you can see as I remove the hot wire, the cows know that I'm moving them and they just automatically go right over. And because I've put up the second hot wire perimeter, they'll just move over a little bit and I can remove that wire and the step-in posts and they're captured without having to chase them down. So we're definitely at the beginning of spring here on the property. You can see the cows, they go straight for that clover that's just starting to come through, and they'll selectively kind of graze that. It's not very tall yet, but so they'll graze that, eat a little bit of that Bermuda, then they'll eat all that hay. So one thing that I noticed this year, so last year was the first year I rolled out bales of hay. And the reason there's some green clover right here, you can see a patch of it. And that's where last year I unrolled bales of hay. And you can see I'm kind of pointing out, you can see the line where the hay was. So you can tell that the ground is more fertile. There was probably some clover seeds in the hay bales. I think there was some common vetch. I think there were some cowpeas. So all this green that I'm showing you right here, that's where the bales of hay were rolled out last winter. We might as well get this. I think I took my turn too sharp. The hay fields aren't quite ready for the cows to go on without feeding hay. I still have, let's see, 2 bales of hay left. It takes these 3 cows about
2 weeks, maybe a little less, to eat a bale of hay. So we're in good shape. I'm going to feed out these last 2 bales of hay while the clover that I planted last spring, if you want to watch that video up there, I'll put it up there. I got a new seed drill last year, so I used that to plant a bunch of clover. Yeah, I got the cows moved. Got this upper hay field, most of it drug. It's ready for the manure to just kind of soak into the ground and get this grass growing this spring.